Welcome. This is Charlie. I am working on an album for Scrap and Create. They have sent me this paper collection. It is Ciao Land of the Rising Sun, and I am working on, this is the 12 by 12 patterns pad. This is the 12 by 12 paper pad. And then I have two of the 8 by 8 paper pad. I'll be incorporating some 8 by 8 pages within this album. I've already got my base made. I made it in red. There are 2 pages. It measures 8 and, what was it? Hold on here, 2 shakes. I forgot what 8 3/4 in height by 8 inches in width. Now, this is what I've got laid out for the front, and I cut this. This was the image I wanted. That's why it's 8 3/4 in height. And there's some other images that are quite large, but this is the one I was focusing on. So I did cut him out. I've mounted him on some black cardstock, and I'm putting him back into place. Now, I am rising him up off the front of the book, but only from this point on. And then I did a double mat here with some foam so that the moon, was coming up a little bit higher than the rest of the body. And then I cut this out, which is easy to get because it's this piece down here. Ciao, in my favor, always gives me the opportunity when they do it this way that I can pull this off, mount it. It's going to be the title of the book here. I'm using a couple of brass filigrees that came with my kit from Scrap and Create. I've got a big old pouch full of them. And I'm going to put a symbol down here, and then I'm going to accent with some nice deep red gems. This piece was the right side panel. I'm using it on the spine, and then I cut out from one of the 8 by 8 pages. There is a whole page of cutout cards, or you can just use the paper the way that it is, but I did cut one out, accented in red, and then I used this piece here out of the 12 by 12 to make the back panel, and then from the fussy cut page I cut and matted a koi. So that's going to go here. And this is how it's laid. Now, the book was done in a cherry red. I got the cardstock from CARDSTOCKwarehouse.com. And you can use that, get it from them, or you can use whatever cherry type red you have. And then I'm going to mount some black on this so that this paper has a chance to pop and that the front of the album's got some color to it. So I'm going to start with the back panel because the front panel is going to be a little bit busy and I want to make it the last. So I'm going to start with the back panel. I'm going to tape around the perimeter, and then I'll put one down the middle. There's a lot of ways you can start this album on the front of it, but I really liked that dragon. I'm going to pull the center piece off first because it's going to help me set the base. But I just saw, I can't forget to do this. I am using some beautiful red ribbon that I have as a tie enclosure. So I'm going to use a pretty wide tape. I think it's 5/8 of an inch. I am going to find my center at 8 3/4. So 4 3/8 will be my center. And I will find that on both sides. That way I can center up the ribbon as best as I can. All right, I'm going to cut about a 2-inch strip. This ribbon is 18 inches, and I find that it is more than adequate. I'm going to get rid of that. All right, now I'm not going to bring the tape all the way to the end. I don't want to see it when the ribbon flexes. So I'm just going to come just a fraction of an inch off. Okay, now I can put this on. And I'm going to pay attention to my corners because that's the corners of the top and the bottom for what my red exposure will be, and it will sit just fine along the spine. I really want to make sure that that ribbon's in there good. I'm going to go ahead and mount the piece for the back. I have gotten so far ahead of myself at times that I have forgotten to add it, and then I have to take all my work apart. All right, I'm just going to erase a little bit here off the end, and then I'm going to put this just a hair off the end. And I'm going to put this down. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead, finish putting on the back. So this is what it will look like with the black against the red. Makes it very striking, and it does help to pull out some of the dark in this. Now I am inking the edges. This is kind of a smoky burnt to my eye. So Tim Holtz came out with a new ink. It's called Scorched Timber, and that's what I'm using to ink around the edges so I can get rid of the white line that you see there. So I'm going to go ahead, I want to tape this on. This paper is very new to me, the colors, the concept, so I am hoping I do the paper justice. I really am. Okay, so let's line this up very carefully so that I've got equal edges all the way around. And then I'm going to commit that piece of tape that's in the center. Well, goodness sakes, come on. I know you can let go. And then we'll commit the koi. Just something small. You can choose whatever feature you want. I'm just going to put him right here in the corner. Okay, so that's my back. Let's go ahead and play with the spine. And I'm going to get this glued on. And I'm sorry, but I guess I could give you some, I guess. I do a lot of cut to fit, so I don't really typically provide measurements for the front, like the back here. I know what I want to see around the edges. You, as a paper crafter, might want to see less red, less black. You might want to see more of each. So when you cover your album, cover it to what works for your eye. What do you want to see? I'm allowing myself just about, well, it's not even an 1/8 of an inch. It's probably 1/16 of an inch on both, all the way around, and it gives me enough eye contrast that I'm happy with that appearance. Oh, I just did something wrong. Oh no. This is backwards. Oh no. I have to think here. This book's gonna open this way. That's not cool. Oh, I taped. Oh my gosh, I taped. I can actually lift this. You know what, no, because I have to put this on. Hold on here, I'm just gonna lift this. I am so glad I did not glue this on, because that would have been a total mess. I wasn't paying attention. I just grabbed the book as it was opened. Didn't occur to me that I was opening it on the wrong side. I'm just so grateful that I did tape this. And that I only used one for the centerpiece. Okay, so this needs to be my front. That's got tape all over it. That's okay. I'm getting ready to put. This is my back. So it's going to go on like this. So I'm going to move it out of the way very gently because I don't want that to stick to my countertop. And we're going to put down some fresh tape. Wow. I'd like to move it out of the way, but I think it's somewhat sticking to my worktop. So I'm just going to kind of work around it until I can get this on the back. All right, let's try this again. This is the back of my book. So I'm going to very carefully turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I want to make sure you can see it, but I need to see it as well. I cannot tell you how grateful I am that I taped this on. Okay, so what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to put this down. I don't like that. This is why I don't like, I'm really struggling here. Now you'll know what not to do. I guess we could take this on as a teaching moment. Come on, let go. Okay, what I'm struggling with is I've got the tape down and I'm trying to cover the tape with this piece so that it doesn't show, but at the same time keep my spacing the way I want to see it. There we go. All right. I think I'm going to go back to my spine. I'm going to finish putting it on. It's the easiest. The other one's going to be kind of a mess because of all the cutting I did. Now, you don't have to cut out that dragon. I would caution you, though, as to what paper you use for your front, because I may have it already slated to use someplace else in the album, because I kind of play around with paper and set things up when I get it. I gotta pull that off because I've got a bigger gap on one side. Let me do it this way so I can see what it is I'm doing. There we go. I want this on the back as even as I can get it. Ouch, I just gave myself a paper cut. I hope this is not an indication how this build is going to go. All right. Okay, so let's play now with the front. So I am going to run tape around the perimeter, and then I'm going to glue around the opening that I cut. The tape will allow me to seat one particular corner, and then I can lay the rest of, I need to get my other one, where'd it go? Okay. Let me get this down here closer to me. So now I'm going to run a bead of tape, glue. I do that a lot. I'll call one and the other, for goodness sakes. All right. I can do it this way, take the tape off in a minute, but I can use this as a means of getting everything where it's supposed to be. Get this glue spread and in place. All right, let's take this off now. All right, so now I'm not putting any pop-ups down here. I've done a double layer up here. This is going to be put right back in its place. I am going to run a little bit of tape across the bottom. Kind of get him set in with this. That tape pushed back there. Lining up the base. Okay. So now I'm going to come in here. This is the most awkward way to do this because you get to watch me peel all of this off. Wanted to make sure I had the tape on all the little tiny extremities here. Come on. Okay, so now, excuse my head. I don't want that lifting. And then we'll just set this right into place. Get all those things in the garbage. All right, so now what I'm doing is I put a little black pearled accent there, and I put a little red one here. I did run strips so that this would pop up off the spine a little bit. And I'm just going to set it right there. And then, excuse me, I did the same with the rising sun piece that I cut out. I'm lifting it up off the page a tad bit, and it's going to go right here. And then I'm going to take some red gems with a dab of glue, because I don't trust the tape on the back of these to hold for any length of time. Give the front of this just a little bit of color. And then I'm going to tuck one down here in this corner. And then I'm going to take this piece out of the brass that I got, and I'm going to mount it with some glossy accents. And I'm just going to sit this right here next to it. And then I'm going to take my smaller filigrees that I got with the collection, and I'm going to put a dab of glue and place it one up here in this corner. And then I will place the other one down here in this corner. Okay, so that's what I have for the front. I need to put some glue here of my album. So we've got some brass filigrees, some red gemmed accents, an oriental symbol here. He's raised up off the paper from about here up with a little extra here at the top, so that this is lifted a little bit more. And then we have this element here for our spine, and this is our back. So that's what we have, and I thank you for playing along, and I'll see you on the next build. Bye-bye.